Mm. Hello. Let's wait for a few more people first before we start. Let me unmute you all first. Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us. So I'll just start on the ground rules first, and then later I can repeat again when more people join in. So for those that have joined us early, thanks for joining us. So bear with me again later when I go through the rules again for those who join us later. So actually for those who joined the previous session, I see some familiar faces. It's actually similar, the ground rules. So once again, now I didn't mute everyone, but later close to 9 a.m. I will mute everybody. And then I'll unmute only during the last 15 minutes during the Q&A session. So how to be unmuted? Thanks, Kendra. I see the thumbs up. You just need to raise your hand. So to raise your hand, you click the participants icon here, and then you click the raise hand. Or the other option is you can type your questions in the chat box directly. So because the session is quite short, we'll try to address as many questions as possible. So, yeah. So the second thing is, it'll be good if you can rename ourselves to our real name, our actual name. So because some of us now, we have a Tampines Changkat CC, but I'm not sure who that is. So if you rename yourself. So once again, how do you do it? Click on participants. Then at the sidebar, it will come out on the right hand side of the screen. You click your own name.
How to expect?
Again, sorry? Someone say something? Okay, I will just proceed first. Okay, click on more, click rename, and then you type your actual name, and it will be good if you can add a center name at the back. Then you CC or center your form.
You just click this one. You see it, then you click this one. Start video.
Okay, I will just stop sharing first.
How to, I will off it until my turn.
No, you stand here first, then you go in. Okay, click start video. See that first.
Okay. Then open what? Wait.
Anyone needs any help?
Okay.
Tell me if you need to see the instructions again, then I'll bring it out on the screen again. Hello.
Yeah. Do I off the video while other speakers are speaking?
Oh, it's up to you. You can leave it on, or if you're not comfortable, you can switch it off also.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You see is what people see you.
Okay.
You go to the front, you come like that. Okay, good. Do something. So you can see on this.
I'm going to get my materials. No need to show one, but it's okay.
Hi, Amelia. We can see you.
Where do I click?
Yeah, what is this? Participants must be muted. All participants must be muted. Participants would be unmuted only during Q&A session. All participants. So I don't need to do anything, right? Oh. Okay.
Okay, so I have unmuted everyone. If you have any questions, you can just voice it out now first. Then we can try to help.
What is cotton?
Hi, morning, Leon.
Yes.
We just need to click on the start video. Then does it mean that this whole session will be recorded?
I will record the session, don't worry. And then later we upload it on our Facebook, My Science Center Facebook page, and then you can access it from there.
Yeah, but then if I click it off, then my image will disappear.
Which one do you click? Then the image will disappear?
The start video. I click, then I can see my own image on the screen.
Right.
If I off it, then the image will disappear. So am I doing the right thing?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay,
So
thank
it
you.
depends whether you want to leave your video on or off. If you prefer it off, it's fine also. But if you prefer it on, then sure. It'll be good to see
Okay.
better.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay, more people are joining us. Hi, Mr. Gopal. Okay, I'll repeat the instructions again at 8:50. So now that more new people have joined us.
Hi, morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
Hi.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, I'll repeat the instructions again at 8:50.
Yeah, I want it a bit louder. Is this one? Okay. Because I can't hear.
Where to the loudest? Adjust from here. Bring to the loudest. Bring further to the louder. Wait, some more. Adjust from here. No, 80%. Okay. Then we adjust from here.
Okay, hello everybody. More people have joined us now. The link for the previous session, you can find it in our Mind Science Center Facebook. I'll show you the link in a while. Yeah. So for some of us who attended the previous session or who missed it and want to view it, we have actually posted it out on our Mind Science Center Facebook. So I sent the link via email yesterday, but I can show it again. Yeah. Let me just go through the instructions very quickly again. So it's the same as what we went through last week. So all participants would be muted, and then you'll be unmuted in the Q&A session during the last 15 minutes. So how to be unmuted? Either raise your hand by clicking on participants and then raise hand, or you can type your question in the chat box directly. Then we'll you can ask your questions during the last 15 minutes. Or if time is tight, I'll just read the questions directly from the chat. Second thing, can we rename ourselves to actual name so that it will be easier to identify you? How to do that? Click on participants, click on more on the right hand side, the bar that will come on the right hand side. On your own name, rename your name, and it'll be good if you can add your center name at the back. Okay, let me just quickly show the link. Oh, did I share my screen? Is it? Okay. This is the link to our Facebook. The second link is done. You can search Mind Science Center on Facebook. Then you can find us, and then we've uploaded the link to the previous session. Okay, and some of us don't have Facebook. You can look at our website instead here. And you're talking about other resources, not just for EWE, but maybe more detailed stuff of mindfulness, diet, sleep, and so on. Now let's go back to the front again.
No, I haven't started.
I think most of us have renamed ourselves, which is good. Thank you. We'll just wait a while for 9 o'clock, then we'll begin the session. So in the meantime, any questions, just type in the chat box or raise your hand. Thank you.
Very close the door.
Hey. Testing. Background.
Hello.
Hi, morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
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 People from Sangkat, Andrea, Esther, Helen. So yeah.
Lily, good morning.
Hi, Lily. Good morning.
Hi, morning. Bang.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Lily.
Okay, let me get back to business.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning, Ina.
Hi, US Lily. Okay, full screen. Okay, turn back my video on.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, Lily.
Can you pick up my call if you're here?
Who's there? Okay.
Hi, Tricia.
Anne,
Morning.
can you pick up your call?
Can I read it myself? Yes. I will take the AWE. Okay, reading myself. Name.
Hi. I'll answer it.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Starting in a while.
You get me or not?
Yes, Maggie, we can hear you. So I've unmuted everyone now, but later I'll unmute everybody, okay?
reception 冇咩好唔知點。你自己睇到自己冇？我睇唔到啊！哎呦，又甩！我睇唔到你，我未睇到你，我睇到自己，睇到自己啊！點樣？你看不到他們。
Anyone have any questions in the meantime?
这样子就不可以看到那个是吧？那就算了，因为我们这边是好的。
Bang, you get me? Bang, you get me or not?
Yeah, somebody calling me.
Yeah.
Will. Yes.
Is that Maggie? Is it?
Yes. Was I in?
Okay. I help you turn on your video. Wait. Okay, you click on the start video.
Okay lah.
Okay, can see you. Great.
Okay. I see my photo now. Okay.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Prof.
Maggie there.
Yes.
Well, wonderful to see all of you, and you are looking great.
Morning. Prof. Morning.
Okay, I think he in the start off first. He around here, yeah, Joshua.
Yes. I must do again.
Don't see.
I think Mrs. Lee is not in yet. Maybe we'll give her a while.
You can start off with mine first.
Oh, sure. Okay. That will work also. Okay, so I'm just going to mute everybody very quickly first, okay? One more time, if you got any questions, type them in the chat box or you can raise your hand. Prof, I'm trying to unmute you.
Yeah. Okay.
Prof, I'm trying to unmute you, but I have difficulties. Okay. Hi, Prof.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone ready? Pang, you ready?
Pang is busy renaming everybody.
Yes, I am. We are ready. Yunus ready. Prof.
Yeah, all right. I'm very glad to see all of you. We have about 78 people today, which is wonderful. The last time I had a discussion with the GPs in Singapore, it was chaired by Professor Goh, and there were 550 GPs, you know, and they start at 9 o'clock at night and finish up at 10:30. So I told Prof. Goh, next time I must go to your webinar wearing pajamas, 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. So I hope, I'm sure all of you are looking very well, and we hope you continue to keep safe and healthy. But we also don't want people the idea that the seniors are all staying at home just watching television. So there are a lot of things that we can do to keep yourself active and healthy again. In the last 2 months, there are a lot of discussion, not only in Singapore but the world, that there are a lot of people under a lot of anxiety. So we have not only the pandemic of the COVID-19, there's also a pandemic of fear. So some people coin it the COVID-19 anxiety. So I would run through you quickly how to prevent the COVID-19 anxiety. So Lynn, can I have first slide, please?
Yeah. Hold on. Okay.
So the COVID-19 anxiety, people have sleep problem, tension, difficulty in concentration, you observe. Often seen in elderly people, also seen among the frontliners in hospitals, and also seen amongst some of my patients who have a past history of anxiety, depression. So the COVID anxiety. So it says it's very much like anxiety, but the fear is more intense and is more present that we have it. Every time you go out of the house, you worry whether you can contact this virus, and it's for some people very frightening, and especially for some of us who work in the hospital, we don't know the next patient that comes in, maybe somebody who tests positive. We don't know anything about that. So we have to keep ourselves safe, and for seniors, especially those in your areas, make sure they are safe and healthy. So the next slide, please, Brady. So there are a few things I want you all to know, And the most important thing is to get the right information. So you see that a lot of anxiety comes when people have the wrong information, misinformation, or even fake information. Right, so people spread around. You see the social media, lots of wrong ideas on how to prevent, or even wrong ideas of what is the COVID-19 infection. So lots of people, for reason best known to them, they're spreading all this rumor. So I tell people that maybe it's good for you to, if you need to, look into the MOH website. They'll tell you what are things you must do, or things you can't do. What kind of mask you must wear is safe, what is not safe. I think we've got to have faith in one particular website. And I think for Singapore, the Cheng Hu or the government website, I think is fair. And they're trying very hard. The task force is working very hard to get information in for us. And so sometimes in our discussion, we give you new information. But I think it's not too wise for people to sit in front of a television every day and listen to the news, and then turn on the BBC and then CNN every day having news. I think that's not too good idea. So I think you want your mind to have a break also. So for myself, I listen to the news twice. In the morning when I wake up, I listen to the news, and then before I go to bed at 9 o'clock news, that's what it is. But it's no use listening to the same news, repeat itself, and it stir up a lot of anxiety in people. First thing, accurate news information. The second is your daily exercise. I think you must continue daily exercise. The worry is people sit in front of television and don't do anything. But even if you sit in front of television, can you lift your leg up? Once you lift your leg up, you strengthen the muscles of your thigh. The thigh muscle is very important for seniors because you often fall down in the bathroom or in the toilet because the weakness of the thigh muscle. The thigh muscle is very important in lifting the body up. So you find that people fall often at the toilet because as they get up, the muscle is weak, then they slip and they fall down. But if your muscles are strong, I think like Pang, he's a strong fellow, seen him running around. So the muscles can lift you up, even if you're about to slip. So exercise is very important. And I understand you're still doing your meridian flapping. Some other people doing Tai Chi, carry on, right? You can do it at home. Doesn't mean that you must exercise in your community centers or in the park. So this is very important, exercise. The third is diet. So you see Lynn having a drink now. Hope she cut down on the caffeine, less coffee and tea. You can have coffee or tea in the morning to keep you awake, but you keep on having too much of coffee or tea at night, you cannot sleep. All right. So I often ask people, even before they sleep, have a glass of milk, because milk contains a protein which is helpful for you, and proteins converted to a substance called serotonin to help you to rest. Then someone will ask me, hey, how about alcohol? Is having a bit of beer or brandy or whiskey good to help me to sleep? If you have no sleep problem, it's fine. If you have a sleep problem, drinking a bit of whiskey and brandy can be bad because it affects the sleep pattern, all right? And the kind of sleep you have is not as restful. So avoid alcohol if you have a sleep problem. If you don't have, you say maybe it's your birthday, you have the celebration, it's okay. Okay. So, and then the fourth one you're going to do is mindfulness exercise. I think this is very important, and Mrs. Wee is going to talk to you again. We hope you'll do it. I tell people about 3 times a day. After breakfast, about 10 minutes. After lunch and evening before you sleep, about half an hour. So you have to calm your mind down, reduce anxiety or tension. There's so much thing to worry about every day, isn't it? You worry about going out. You worry about when you're going to hairdresser, when you're going to the supermarket. All this anxiety, And you sit in the taxi or in a bus, you worry about whether there'll be cross-contamination. So one of the worries, if you do the mindfulness, in fact, I tell some of my patients, if you're taking the train or taking MRT, just close your eyes and do some mindfulness practice. Have you all tried that? I hope you all try it yourself. Instead of being distracted by the people around and getting worried, just close your eyes and then do the mindfulness practice when you're on a train or in a bus. So next one, please. All right. So next one are the activities which all of you are doing very well. Gardening, I know the one that you know, and Queenstown and also Tampines are doing very, very well. I think you carry on, and you can even do a gardening, a pot of flowers or herbs in your own house. You know, it's wonderful to do it. Doesn't mean that you must have a proper garden. Just a potted plant is excellent. You know. It's good for the human mind to see the flower bloom, right? And then you know about music and reminiscence, and I'm very glad that even now in the stay-home directive, the Esplanade and many activities are all free. Go online and listen to music. So in between listening to the news, the bad news all the time about more cases, you can just listen to music, you know, right? And some of you, I don't know whether Maggie, you enjoy some Shakespearean play. It's free now. Shakespeare's play is streamed online to us for, you know, even the musical at a Broadway and in London and West End, all free now. It's wonderful. You know, things I missed out watching Phantom of the Opera. And now it's free. I just listen to it. How wonderful. And then art, I think some people prefer a quiet kind of activity. So art is something that they can try it out. You know, do some painting quietly in between watching television and talking to your friends, maybe art therapy. So I think then the number 6 is a social support for your lonely elderly. If you have a friend or someone who is lived by herself alone, it's good to send her an email or WhatsApp and how getting on. And if you have a neighbor who is living alone and you're going out shopping or buying your grocery, you can just ask the neighbor, can I buy something for you? And instead of she or he going out, or especially those who are frail, you can say, can I go out and buy something for you? I think this support you have. I hope the people, that's why I hope the people at Eunos, Queenstown, Tampines, Bishan, Aokang, you all form a group and the group can help each other out. This is called the social support, or we call it the social capital. You know. Then finally, I think is you can also always rest well if you think of people who have been kind to you. You say, I'll show your appreciation. You know, the person who helped you to buy or bring back your prescription to the hospital, or the neighbors who help you to buy your groceries, and a person who help you, or even Lynn who helped you to set up this webinar. You know, be thankful. If you say I don't want to thank, then you think the people in the hospitals are now, even you're sleeping at night, the people in the hospital must work in the emergency department. My daughter works at KK, the emergency department consultant. They must work at night. So while we sleep, these people carry on the work. You know. Many years ago, I used to ask my grandmother, how do you sleep during the war years? It's about killing, the Second World War. So sometimes I think about the people who helped me out, to help you. My grandmother had 11 children. How are you going to survive 11 children? And there's things, so much of poverty and not enough food. And some people can't help out. And you think of these people. And because you think of this, show appreciation, you don't think about the anxiety or the anger you have, you know, of people. Right? So these are the 7 things you remember. First, your information, then your exercise, then your mindfulness practice, then your activities, your social support, and your appreciation. I missed out one more. Lynn, can you flick back? I think, is it the master relaxation? Diet. All right. So these are seven habits. Just remember 7 things. You know? Information, exercise, diet, mindfulness, activities, social support, appreciation. Is there one more slide? Okay, so these are the 7 things. Now, can we unmute them for any questions? Because I won't be coming back again. Any questions, anyone? Any question?
Hold on. Okay, so there are a few people who have raised their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a minute so we can see if you have any questions.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yeah.
No question?
Joey, do you have a question?
No.
No, Lina, sorry, no.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
very
Thank you,
good.
Prof.
Okay, so no question. Let's move on to Mrs. Wee for
Yeah.
mindfulness.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, Lynn can ask you one simple question. What are the 7 habits to prevent COVID anxiety? So make sure you remember the short-term memory test. And make sure you remember all of them. Okay, I'll get
Thanks,
get
Prof.
on to Mrs. Wee. Is she around?
Yeah. Hold on, Mrs. Wee. Hi, Mrs. Wee.
Hello, good morning. Morning, everyone. Morning.
Morning.
Hello. So am I supposed to start now?
Yes.
Is it all right to start now?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning. We had a very good you had a very good session with Prof, and there's nothing like, you know, there's nothing like listening to the doctor, yeah, telling you how important it is to you know, get the accurate information, have a good diet and things like that, and also his reminder to do your mindfulness practice. Yeah. So it's a good ending for my beginning here. So I have Lina, I still have the 2 sessions, right? 10 minutes and 10 minutes, do I?
Yes, correct. 20 minutes.
Okay, all right. So what I want to do now is we will get into the sitting session, and then for the first part of it, I am going to do part of it on the concentration with the breath for a short while, and then we move on to loving kindness meditation. All of you should be familiar in all your classes. You have been taught how to close to do the loving kindness meditation. And I think that at this time with COVID-19 and all the measures that have been put in place, and especially for the seniors and the elderlies, we are really not encouraged to do much unless you are a professional or unless you are in what we call essential services. Then we are asked to stay at home, not to go out. Now, what can we do? Like Prof said, you know, for us then who have this opportunity to learn how to do the mindfulness practice, how to do some meditation and reflection. The mind is a very powerful instrument. We can then use this method of loving kindness meditation to radiate kind thoughts and appreciation to, in addition to the family around us, also to the people out there, the staff and members and healthcare workers and all that, including those in essential services, your security guard, your supermarket salesperson, you know, all of that out there. And to have thoughts of kindness for them to be free, yeah, from this infection, for them to be free from fear, from discomfort, and so on. Okay, so shall we start now? Make yourself comfortable. Yeah, make yourself comfortable like in the first session. There's nothing much you need to do. I will guide you. Let's begin by sitting comfortably with your eyes closed. You take in a few deep breaths. Have this awareness of your body sitting on the chair in contact with the cushion, and this sense of your own presence. Yeah? whatever thoughts you have, whatever concerns you have. Just leave all of that behind and be present with the sensation of the breath felt at the tip of the nostril or above the upper lip. Then first direct these thoughts of kindness thoughts of goodwill, first to yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be free from physical suffering, may I be free from mental suffering. Because really, if one is not able to have this sincere, genuine desire for yourself to be happy, then there is really no resource, no pool of resource within yourself to radiate this kindness to anyone else. Yeah? So tell yourself, may I find true happiness. Then we radiate this feeling to our family members, our loved ones, our parents, siblings, our relatives, our close friends. People we know well, people we care for. May they be well. May they be happy. May they be free from physical suffering. May they be free from mental suffering. May they be free from unease, discomfort, distress, fear, anxiety. Then we move out of that boundary of families and close friends. We moved on to people we do not know well and people we do not know at all. So in this, we bring to mind, think of within Singapore itself, all the nurses, the healthcare workers, nurses, all the allied services staff. What they are doing in order to keep us safe, to nurse back to health those who have been affected. And then to the whole of the population in Singapore, our own residents, foreign workers who have been here, May they be free from mental suffering. May they be free from physical suffering. May they be free from discomfort, unease, distress, anxiety, fear. May they be well. May they be truly happy. The radiation of loving kindness comes from both the mind as well as from the heart. And as we recite and keep on repeating, may they be well, may they be happy. Try to feel that in the area where your heart is. This genuine, ardent desire, supplication for them to be well and happy, for them to be safe. Then without boundaries, we think of all people around the world during this pandemic. The amount of fear, stress, and suffering for loss of loved ones as well, for loss of health. And going into the future, the world of COVID-19, so much unknown of what the outcome of COVID-19 will be and how it will affect the life of each and every one of us. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be free from physical suffering, may they be free from mental suffering. May they be free from discomfort, distress, unease, anxiety, pain, fear, and sorrow. May they be well. May they be truly happy. And now we guide our awareness back to the sensation of the breath, felt at the tip of the nostril or above the upper lip, or the rising and falling of the abdomen with each in-breath and out-breath you take. And just simply allow your mind to settle to be with the breath. In the present, in the here and now. And we close by bringing awareness back to the sensation of touch, your body sitting in contact with the chair or the sofa. We take in a few deep breaths and we can open the eyes. All right. Everyone out of your meditation? Yes. Lynn, do we have time for one question before the next speaker?
Yeah, sure. Give me a minute. Okay.
The rest of the questions can put into the chat box. Yeah, maybe it's easier, or you can raise your hands as usual. Yes.
Yeah. So anyone? Okay. We have Joey.
Hi, morning, Mrs. Wee.
Morning, Joey.
Yeah, thank you for leading us for the loving kindness meditation.
Thank you.
Peace now. I think the questions maybe just many meditators might have this as a beginner. So in these COVID-19 situations, when I experience also like a time when you hear some announcement, you feel anxiety, about the uncertainty, just like you mentioned.
Yes.
When you are doing the mindfulness practice and we observe the anxiety or the worry arise, so you have that feeling.
Yes.
Should we focus on continue to observing that feeling, or we should focus on the breathing instead?
Okay. This is when you are meditating, or you are doing your daily activities?
Meditating.
Okay. If when it happens, that thought arises and you are meditating, then in the mindfulness practice, it is good actually for you to pay attention to just give attention to that sensation that is arising. Okay, this is key to the mindfulness practice. This is key to the mindfulness practice, unlike in shamatha. So in concentration practice, then you would want to bring the breath back to your mind, back to the breath. Yeah, to not to get distracted by whatever is arising. But in vipassana, in this mindfulness practice, what we want to do is when these emotions or sensations arise, then what we want to do is just to give it the attention and to just watch it. Now, there's a big distinction here. I like to elaborate a little bit more. When we do that, what we are doing is not, we have to reframe. You remember the classes which I gave when I take all of you through a short session where you bring something of discomfort to mind and then to watch it, like as if you're watching the play in a theater, right? So this is exactly what you are doing now. This is exactly what you are doing. So something actually arises. That one, you have to bring something into the mind, you know, to create that, to imagine. So you have a visual. But this one, the sensation actually is arising. So in terms of what you need to do, is exactly the same as that practice which I taught during our classes. So you observe that sensation arising. You do not engage, because engage in the sense that once you start to say, to tell yourself what's going to happen after this, know what's going to happen next. When you allow the mind to run ahead of you, then you lose that control. Then what happens is that usually the anxiety will get worse. But if you just watch it and focusing on the sensation that is arising, because when the anxiety arises, remember, this thing about interconnectedness between body and mind, it is not just what you are seeing. Your body is also reflecting that anxiety. The tension in the body increases. Sometimes your heartbeat increases. Yeah, and then sometimes you can feel that your breathing becomes shorter and faster. So once you pay attention to this, you will notice that all of these tensions, all of these sensations that you are experiencing will subside. It has to subside because you are paying attention to it. I do not know how to overemphasize this because this is very experiential. You have to practice it. When something like that arises, you pay attention to it, and then you watch the sensations gradually subsiding, and it actually happens quite quickly. Okay? Does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joey, for the question. Thank you, Mrs. Lee.
Thank you. So we move to the next one, right? And I come back later. I have another 10 minutes later on.
If there's time, we can.
If there's time, okay. All right, sure. But you can put the question in the chat box, okay?
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, thanks, Mrs. V. Okay, so now we'll just quickly move on first to the next segment. If there's time, then we'll come back to Mrs. V again. So next slide, actually, we have from Guangming Shan. They're going to teach us how to make soil fertilizer. So this is part of their therapeutic horticulture segment. So we have Tracy and Anne. I'm unmuting you all now first. Yeah, and Tricia will facilitate. Yeah, hi everybody. Can you hear me?
Hi, so can I start now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Tricia from Guangming San. We are glad to be part of this mini virtual AWE horticulture therapy segment. So we will be introducing the homemade fertilizer making today by our very experienced instructor, and together with Tracy, where they brainstorm and plan for today's session. So the horticulture at Guangming San is actually designed by both of them, together with the instructor at Guangming San, to incorporate the recycling and mindfulness in the activities. So we also would like to make tribute to the late Mr. Wee, who he always remind us that actually the process is more important than the result we get. So with that in mind, actually KMS horticulture therapy have rooted and firmly focusing on the process that we encourage the senior to apply mindfulness, motor skill in the horticulture activities. So with this, we provide a more experiential activities like enzyme making, green spot making, flower tea appreciation, cell water planting system, and not forgetting the most finale of our whole program is the flower mandala, where we incorporate the mindfulness practice together with the mandala making together. So without further ado, let me introduce let us welcome our instructor. And
hi, good morning everybody. Very nice to see all of you here. Okay, Lina, can we have the first slide where we show the materials?
Yeah, yeah.
The second one, the next one, the materials.
Materials.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we at this one, yes, we at Guangming San, we would always encourage recycling. So you can see from here that we are using banana peels, used coffee grounds, and eggshells. All these, normally people would throw them away, but actually they are full of nutrients. So for banana skin, we can actually give plant potassium. Eggshell will provide calcium. Coffee beans will actually loosen the soil so that it improves drainage, and also encourage earthworms to grow there. So with all these, we will later show a video how we blend them together and add them into the soil. So Linga, can we have the next slide? The video. You want to show them the video first? Yeah, okay, we can show them.
Okay, so I'll just play the video. Tell me if you can't hear, okay?
Yeah. Okay, it's a very simple process. What you do is you use a blender, but if you do not have a blender, you can actually put them in a food processor. You don't even need to add water. You can actually grind them, but it's not so fine, but it is still okay. But sometimes, what I do is I don't even blend them. After I eat banana, I can actually cut the banana skin into small pieces and I bury them under the soil of my plants. So that will provide potassium. And then for eggshell, I will just rinse it and I crush them and I also mix them into the soil, you know, put them under the soil. So that's it. Coffee beans is a bit acidic, so be very careful. Do not add too much, okay? And then how to get all these used coffee beans? Sometimes if you do not have a coffee machine at home, then you can go to the coffee shop and just say, oh, do you have kopi tea? You know, the used ones? And then they will happily give to you free of charge. So you can easily get that. The whole process of this activity is to encourage recycling and also motor skill. But the most important thing is for you to watch your plants grow with loving kindness. You really, as you nourish the plants, you give loving kindness, and then you see how the plants bloom. Whether they bloom or not, that is another thing. But as you watch, you are actually giving loving kindness and you have joy, you have peace. So this is one activity that Prof. Kwa mentioned, gardening. And is there any question that you have? Is there any question? The process is very simple. Just encourage recycling.
Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Actually, this process, we combine mindfulness into it, really, a lot of mindfulness. And you always give your plants loving kindness. Any other questions? Do we have a lot of time left? Linga, do we have a lot of time left?
We have a bit of time left.
Because this is a very simple process, really. The coffee, the used coffee beans that I got from the coffee shop, I actually put them in a tub and I dry them under the sun. But I won't use all. You see? And then the eggshell, whenever I use eggshell, I will wash them and I dry them. So you can use it as and when you like. As for banana skin, I would, if I don't blend them, I will just cut them up and bury them under the soil. That's it. I seldom throw away things.
Anne and Tracy, we actually have 2 questions. So the first one is, how do we attract the earthworms if we put this on potted plants?
Oh, actually earthworm is grown by itself. You don't attract them to claw over. It will grow by itself because I actually make compost, you know, like a lot of vegetable peels and fruit peels. I will get a styrofoam box and I will have some soil and I will bury all these fruit peels and I will cover them. I do this at home. So once in a while, I'll open it and I just loosen them. And I found earthworms. You all can try. They grow by themselves. Okay?
Thanks, Anne. So the next few questions are quite similar. So how much fertilizer for each plant? And then how often do you put this in the plants?
Hey, you have to understand your plants, really. It's just like your own body. You have to know your own body. Some plants actually cannot take too much acid, so you don't add so much coffee beans. And then you look at the leaves of the plants. When they are healthy, you can tell because they are shining and the color is very bright. But if you see the leaves of the plants failing, like a bit dull and maybe a bit yellowish, then I think it is time to add fertilizer.
Okay, thanks. And okay, I think one last question on the horticulture before maybe we give some time to Mrs. Wee to do the COVID-19 reflections. Okay. So how much do you know to give to each soil? Oh, I think it was answered. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think it depends on the plant, like Anne was sharing earlier. Okay.
You have to really understand your plants just like the way you understand your body. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Tracy. Okay, so maybe, Mrs. We have a bit of time left. Maybe we can quickly go through the
right. Lynn, can you flash the question that the things that I sent to you? Do you have it with you? Flash it.
Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, I simplified it so that
yes.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, whilst Lynn is looking for to flash that, I hope you all had a chance to do some reflection. Yeah. I think I mentioned this earlier that COVID-19 is the measures imposed by COVID-19 is unique. It is unique. It is frightening for many people. Yeah, and Prof has earlier also said more than once that we see anxiety level rising for patients as well as even for people who are not so predisposed. Okay, so I would like to hear from some of you your reflections. Then I can add in certain things and I'll guide again. Would any one of you like to start? Sharing your own reflections of the COVID-19. I mean, like what Joey was saying just now, meditating, you know, and observing that anxiety has arisen. My instruction is also quite specific, especially to now, the COVID-19. What are your own personal experience coming out of this and going forward?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Can just raise your hand. Ah, okay, Lily. Yes, I see you. Yeah, hi Lily.
Hi, Mrs. Lee. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lily. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. So
Yes.
when COVID-19 was first announced as a global pandemic, because we have been following the news coming out from China, I felt very stressful about what is going on around us. And when I'm doing my mindfulness practice, I get a lot of interference that comes in and out of my mind. It went on for a few days, and I tried to do my mindfulness practice, my breathing, and I also do the loving kindness practice. Took me a while, and when there was a lockdown too, it took me a while to really be able to sit down. There were nights that I always do my mindfulness practice first thing in the morning before I do my daily routines and before I sleep at night. But I think the night time is the most difficult for my sitting because I get a lot of interference. And I had to do a lot of calming myself. And with the lockdown, family members are working from home. So I really had to readjust myself. And the mindfulness practice really comes in very handy at this point in time because I had to do my attention. I had to be mindful and be aware of what's going on and be aware of how I have to do my whole routine because socially, mentally, emotionally, we are all affected. Yeah.
Right.
So what I actually do is I have a to-do list of my priorities because everything has gone topsy-turvy. Priority of what I have to do for the day. What are the things that I have to buy from the supermarket or whoever that is going to the supermarket and things like that. So it hasn't been easy, I must say, to be at home. And also my feelings goes out to the elderly too. And I also contact like some of my relatives and friends and elderly family members, and also be patient with family members who have to work from home because they're in meetings in and out throughout the day, and I also have to take care of the food which I normally don't have to. So just like to get some of your guidance as to how we should or can overcome this at this point in time.
Okay. Well, thanks, Lily. Well, that was very good sharing because what you shared, I think it encapsulates many of you who are listening in now, your own experience as well. Lily, whatever you are doing in terms of your own practice and also your awareness and your attention to details of what you are experiencing, it is very, very good. Okay, so I'm very encouraged as a teacher to hear you share something like this because obviously you have been very conscientious in your own practice for you to be able to be alert, be aware, and to register the changes that are happening within yourself and within the environment itself, and also what you are doing to cope, with these changes. I don't have the answer to a quick fix for this, but going forward, because this is going to be a long haul, as we do the mindfulness practice and we include loving kindness into this as well. Because of our practice, we tend to be able to create space for family members. We are always a bit more mindful simply because we've gone through the training, yeah, and the word mindfulness is always there. So we tend to create and make space for others, because we are the one who is more mindful, right? So because this may be long haul, what I would like to suggest, and also to all of you who are listening in right now and doing this practice, is also remember that if you are one of those who has been doing all the things for others, remember yourself. Okay, Lily has been doing loving kindness meditation, and Lily, I hope that I'm sure in your case, your loving kindness, the first must be directed towards you, yeah, and because in order for you to be able to radiate loving kindness, care, concern, and genuinely from the heart, something that is really authentic, you cannot be tired out. You cannot feel unwell. Yeah. So one of the pitfalls, or one of the things that we should watch out for when we do this, is always to remember we have to take care of ourselves first. It is not being narcissistic. It's not about being self-centered, right? Because if we are tired out, once we get tired out, we don't feel well, there's nothing much we can do for others, really. So in the long haul, in order to continue to keep on doing this, doing the loving kindness meditation is like what Anne says, you know, you take care of your plants, you water, you got to watch for the color of the leaves, and you make sure it is not too much because one plant from another is different. Yeah, so you have to know your own capacity, because some of us have a lot more capacity to radiate that kind of kindness to others, whereas some of us may not have. So each of us is different. Each one of us is different. Okay?
Thank you,
so,
Mrs. Wee.
Yes.
We have to end because there's another thing coming up in 1 minute's time. So I would like to conclude and thank Mrs. Wee, because next week she's coming back again, and you can ask the questions again. And then thank Anne for the wonderful way of making fertilizer. I'm learning new things now. Yeah? Yes. I could try that. I know Anne will teach us something about making cakes, which is her forte. You know? And also, it's good to see Lily and Simon and Joel, Gopal, all of you. I think we learned so much, even sitting here listening to all of you. But we have to move on because there's a concurrent session moving on after this. And we give Lynn exactly 1 minute to open the new site, because they're talking about the scientific research on the mindfulness now. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week again. Thanks, Mrs. Wee.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.